Hey, y'all. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yes, to Let's Be Clear, collectively learning, evolving, and reinventing.
Yes, Hunty.
Like I said, I always have to remind myself of that.
You should get a tattoo.
No. Did we talk about that the other day about you getting a tattoo on your neck?
Let's be clear.
Right. And you know what, though? It made a big difference to Doc. Because, Doc never knew what clear meant. And when I said it to her, she was like, oh.
Because that's deep, right?
Right. She's like, I didn't know that's what that meant. But yes.
We learning.
We are. Mm-hmm. So welcome, y'all. Welcome to the new episode.
Episode 7.
Yes. We have a special guest with us. Please introduce yourself, lady.
Hello, everyone. This is Najia. I am friends with the ladies, with the fabulous host, and I want to thank you both for giving me this opportunity. I am so excited because I feel a healing in the building. So
hey. Hallelujah.
Preacher.
Yes. We want to thank you for being on with us today.
Yes.
Thank you.
All righty. So let's get into it because it's about to go down.
It's about to go down.
It's about to go down.
So I'm so thoroughly convinced that this is going to be like the best episode ever thus far. So tonight we are going to tackle the topic that no one really wants to talk about, forgiveness.
Yes.
So the title will be, I'm willing to forgive you. Can I forget?
Mm-hmm.
So the quote is, to forgive is an action, not an emotion.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's talk about why we're talking about this.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm having some issues, y'all. Okay. So my mother listened to a couple of the podcasts, right? So she listened to the first episode, but she was like, I kind of didn't like that. But then she listened to the second one, which was Check Your Circle. Was the second one Check Your Circle, or was it the third one?
I think it's the third one.
Okay. So it was Check Your Circle. And she was upset with me at the things that I said about her. Now, mind you, I love my mother, and, my life's my life. It is what it is. That's my truth. And I love my mother. Do not, and I hope she doesn't get that twisted ever. But she was really upset the fact I said that she was, manipulative. She was, she was taking advantage of me. She was kind of abusive. So she was very upset that I said that. And the first thing she was just like, why is it you can't forgive me, but you can forgive your father and, and all this other stuff. And in my mind, I thought that I forgave my mother. I was like, lady, I forgive you. But through recent discovery, I had to kind of rethink the whole forgiveness thing. So what we did was we looked up the word to forgive. So let me just read this definition to you. So to forgive, it has one definition with two meanings, and then there's a second definition. So the first one, A, to give up resentment of or claim to requital. And then the B part is to grant relief from payment of. Now the second definition,
student loans.
Right. Now the second definition is to cease to feel resentment against. Now, you look up the word forgiveness.
Yeah.
And the word forgiveness says it means to learn to forgive and forget.
There
Now,
you have it.
Clearly, I have not forgiven my mother because I cannot forget the pain and when I went through it. So that's an issue now because I'm just like, y'all, I'm about to go through some serious therapy. I got to go back. I got to work out all these issues because I'm just like, I'm thinking I'm healing, but obviously I'm not because I'm not forgiving. So I'm just very lost in this.
So the
transition.
block is the emotion that you.
I guess so because I'm like, I forgive you, but I still feel mad. So
wait. Because you know how I feel about the word but.
You're right.
Right. So you just said, I'm willing to forgive you, but I'm still mad. Are you truly willing to?
I'm willing to forgive her. But the thing is, I thought I forgave her. But the issue is, I'm still mad. So
because you remember? Right.
Because I feel like when you say like, you're willing to forgive, but can you forget? And I feel like, I'm like, oh, I forgive you, Mom. But then when she comes around, I get an attitude. I have issues. I have some resentment somewhere. And I'm just like, what is this all coming from? Because I'm still angry inside. And I really need to get over this, especially me wanting to start a family and wanting to have babies and stuff like that. How can I go on being a decent mother without forgiving, my OG?
And then you said the word resentment. And so the definition that this lady gave me was that resentment is drinking poison while wanting the other person to die. If you just think about it like that, that's powerful.
That's a lot.
Right. So I'm drinking the poison,
Right.
but I want you to die.
Right.
Come on, somebody.
That's crazy.
Right.
So
Can I add something?
yeah,
Yeah. Come
please.
on. Come
We
on.
want you to talk when you
But I
want
was
to come
thinking,
in,
and
please.
this is my aha for forgiveness. Sometimes we can forgive the person, but we may not forgive the experience.
Oh.
So
But then what
even
happens when we
though
remember the experience?
when we remember the experience, then that stuff keeps coming up. That
Right.
poison you're talking about, that
Yeah.
toxic, all that stuff keeps coming up.
Right.
Because the person may have done what they've done, but maybe there's a part of you that recalls the experience. So if you was to take your mother out of it, like remove her from it, what would remain? I would think it would be the experience. So
Yeah.
there may be some work that you need to do with the experience. Like, how can you get past the experience? How can you let the experience go? Yes, your mother or whoever may have been at the root of it, may have done some part or played some role, but that experience is what lingers. Because if your mother was to leave here today or tomorrow, what would remain? So I just offer that as maybe there's something else that needs to be looked at and also forgiven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what came to mind.
No, that's good.
That's deep too.
Yeah.
Because how can you forgive the experience? Or how can you forget the experience?
And so, Najee, so on the way here, I told Carly my experience with forgiveness. So I had a hard time forgiving my father. Short story, this lady at church didn't know me, told me that I needed to forgive him and all this stuff. And I just was thinking, like, this lady doesn't even know me. And she said so many powerful things to me. Perhaps I need to reevaluate this and think about it. So I was like, let me pray about this. So I asked God, if you want me to forgive my father, I need you to have me forget some things, because every time I think about it, it comes up and I'm stuck. So if I see somebody in his family and they're talking about him in such a nice way, I don't know him in that way. So when I hear them talk about it, I'm upset again. Or he helped me do this and he helped me do that. I'm thinking like, well, he didn't do any of that for me. So I'm like, I need to be able to forget some of those things so that I can truly forgive him. And so I knew that it happened because my mom asked me about like a time he was supposed to come pick me up and he didn't, and she was like, oh, you have to remember that you were looking outside the window, you were crying, and it was like she wanted me to relive this, and I didn't have a clue as to what she was talking about. Today I've forgiven my father. I'm okay. I'm in a good place with that. I needed to be able to forget that because I associated that experience with so much pain, so I wasn't able to get past it. You know what I mean? Like if we just forgive and like she said, remove the experience or the emotion or the hurt, the feelings behind it, we can do it. But every time we think about it, we like, yeah, but they made me so mad. You know, I was so mad when she did that. So we really can't. It's just like a hamster wheel. We just keep going around and around, not really coming to any resolution. Definitely not getting any peace about the situation.
And just to echo what you said, the beautiful part about it is the mind allows us to replace things.
Yeah.
That's one of the beauties and the gifts of the mind. So you get to replace that thought. When that darkness, that pain, whatever, keeps surfacing, you get to change the channel, change the story, do something different. And that's the ability that we tend not to use. We don't realize that we have such a power and such a strength with the mind. And then just to echo one more thing you mentioned about being stuck, that's what, when we don't forgive, happens. We get stuck. So based on you wanting to create a family, have a family, whatever, just hearing you say that, it makes me wonder, if you're not careful, you're going to get stuck. You're going to think that you can't have that family because of your experience. So be careful with what you're going through, and be careful because your goal is to not get stuck, because if you get stuck, then you're going to stop living. And I don't think that's what you desire for yourself.
Right.
No,
And that's
no.
what we talked about earlier is that you don't want to just, exist in this
Right.
world. You want to be able to really live this life
Right.
to the fullest.
Right.
Best life, yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Cuz we get so caught up in just think about it. Just think about the people that we know in our lives who get stuck in the sunken place.
I haven't seen it
Okay,
yet.
okay. Who get stuck in the place and they're done. You know what I mean? They're not living, they're just existing. And we definitely don't want to be caught up in that place. We definitely want to make sure that we live in this life the best that we can.
Because I'm trying to figure out how this is affecting me. So I was speaking to Doc about it earlier. And I was like, no, I don't think my issues with my mother, and don't think it's just with my mother, because I have issues with my father that I have not addressed yet at all. But I was like, I don't think it affects me in my personal life. I think I'm just fine. I think it affects the relation between my mother and I. But no, it actually it affects everything around me.
Absolutely.
And I think the issue is that I always try to hide it and push it to the background, just push it to the side, put it on the back burner, let it simmer a little bit.
Because that's denial.
Huh.
Yeah.
Right.
So let me just act like this didn't happen and pretend like everything's okay. Let me keep on the mask. But then there's makeup remover, and then there's the real you. And this is really what it is.
Right, and I keep on tricking myself, thinking that I'm getting through this process, like I'm doing whatever I need to do, but I'm truly not healing yet, which really sucks, because I really thought I was in a better place.
But that's the mind thing. So when you want to start the healing process?
I mean, I need to start it now, like today, yesterday.
Well, I offer this to you, Carly. Let it happen. Stop trying to control it. Stop trying to, when the thoughts come up, let them show up. The good, bad, the ugly, whatever they may be. Let it show up, because what you're going to see as it shows up, that means it's purging. That means it's moving. And I can say this, I have some mother, father things going on too, but my parents have been gone now 10 years plus. And I promise you, to this day, at least every now and again, an opportunity will show up for me to forgive them. And I'm like, wait a minute, you guys have been gone. Why are you showing up, Lord? What's going on? But bottom line is the healing, it doesn't stop. But you have to give it room. You have to give it space. But when you're blocking it, like you said, you've been, whatever you've been doing to mask it, when you own your truth, you own your truth. And everything moves, because nothing sits still for truth.
Right.
So just let it purge. I know you don't want to keep encountering the experiences, the thoughts, but let that stuff move through you, because it has to come out. And if you don't let it come out, it's only going to hurt you more than it's going to help.
Because it's cancer. It's just like a cancer.
Exactly.
You're right. And it's really...
So be willing to endure the pain as it shows up, but let it show up so it can come out.
Yeah, because it's really affecting the relation between me and my mother. And I feel bad, because when she comes around...
And we talked about this too, so we... Thank God for transparency. So... Carly and I have so many different conversations about family, because it's just so important. It comes up for us, just like we talked about in the other episode. It just continues to come up. You're a product of your environment. Our parents were the first people who he had relationships with. So it's so important. And when we were talking about parents, it's like when your mom will come around, you're like, oh, I don't know. It's like you get anxious about it. And I think that sometimes when there is unforgiveness in the room, you're not able to operate. So how many times have we been somewhere and we're like, oh, someone's still gonna be there? Oh, I ain't going. But I no longer am going to allow you to have that type of power and dominion over me. Yeah, no, ma'am. And so I'm like, no, so that's how I think that the forgiveness is there and you're good when you can be in that space. Just like, I have family issues too. We all do. And so I realized just recently, like, you know what? I am good. Hey, how are you? I'm okay, because I learned to just forgive them. They're going to be how they're going to be, and it is what it is. I can't change who they are.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm not going to allow them to control me like that.
Right.
And then one thing I was going to say about the whole thing with my father, that was one of the best things that I have ever done in my life, was being strong enough just to be like, you know what, I'm about to just forgive him, because at the end of the day, it wasn't even about him. It was about me. I felt so much better after that. I don't know And a lot of times people don't even know what they've done to you. So you're holding on to this. They're not even clear, or they just don't know, period, that they hurt you, how they hurt you, or say it was something that happened years ago. They don't even know. They thought that they don't know how the depth of the hurt that they gave to you. You know what I mean? Like you imposed all this hurt in my life, and they're like, yeah, no, I don't remember, or I thought you was over that, or I said sorry. They don't even know, and you are still holding on to this years later. They have no idea. So when I forgave my dad, it was good for me. It was liberating for me. Like, I'm like, because the truth will set you free. Once I put it out there, like, you did this and you did that, and it hurt me. You know, I wish that you wouldn't have done that. However, I forgive you. I felt like I had all the power. I forgive you.
Right.
For being like the worst dad ever.
Oh, wow.
And just like that, we were friends.
And it works.
It worked.
You know, because my mother had to go through the same process with her father.
Right.
She was like, you know, she was doing something, and like her relationship with her father was, I don't know if I can even allow to even say it on this,
Right.
in this space, but you know, she was like, you know, especially before she passed, she didn't know he was going to pass, but she was like, you know, she was, I had to forgive him.
Right.
She had a conversation with the Lord, and she was just like, you know what? It's time to forgive my father. And after that, funny thing is, they became friends.
Right.
You know, they were hanging out all the time. They're, you know, doing things, and he was happy to have his daughter around. And next thing, he left in peace.
Right. And it was a win-win for them.
Right.
They were both able to make peace. She needed that. She needed that closure. She needed to move into that space of forgiveness. Because if you have all that unforgiveness, what a horrible life.
I know, but that really sucks. I'm really thinking I was in a really good place. I don't want to have a horrible life, and I'm thinking I have a good life. I know.
You
I'm
are going to have a good life.
Right. But I'm thinking I have this good, like I'm in this great space, and like I'm in a good space, but really and legitly I am not. And I'm sorry when I start crying because there's so much that I have not forgiven, and I'm really pissed off about it. I haven't forgiven my mother. I haven't forgiven the church. I haven't forgiven anybody. And I'm just like, why?
But I think right now you in a space now that you can begin to forgive, because now you know what it is. Because I think after all this time, it may have been a level of just denial and just, like I said before, masking it like it didn't really happen, and the hurt didn't really hurt. You know what I mean? And now you're at a place. Now you know what it is, and so now you can move forward with the forgiveness.
Yeah.
And the beautiful part that comes to my mind is that gray space that you are in prepared you for where you are today.
Mm-hmm.
So embrace it. I know you're sad and you're hurt, but that great space was preparation for today.
Yes.
So now it's time to do the work. Yeah. Oh my goodness, you should be excited.
She should be excited.
I'm excited about it.
Even now, the fact that she's able to, the level of emotion that's here, even now, it's a breakthrough happening now. That she can even be in this space where now it's coming. And that's why we had so many complications to even do this episode. We've never had any issues coming up here. Sound checks always went great. Tonight, out of all nights, we can't get Najia on the phone. It's not working. We got to get new cords, and our engineers trying to fix things. Like, it's mind-boggling. But then I'm like, nah, not really. I know somebody doesn't want us to have this episode because it's going to be a blessing to other people. Yes.
Yeah.
Little distractions that was trying to, but the distractions was prepping us for this great space
right.
that we are currently in.
Yeah.
So, yay, God! Oh.
Right.
So we get to celebrate. Woo! So Carly, hold on for the ride, because great things, greatness, the great space is only going to get greater.
Yeah.
So be open and willing to experience it.
Yeah, because it just really, really, because when I think about it, it just really sucks. I'm just like, I haven't forgiven anybody because I really, really wanted to be that person. And obviously I'm not that person.
Be that person that's still forgiving?
Or that person that's just like, oh, I'm good. Like, I'm that.
But just think about it. Sometimes the person that says, oh, I'm good, really ain't good.
You're
you
right.
know what I mean?
You're right.
Because if I have to keep saying it, sometimes it's not the truth. I'm sorry.
Well, Carly, is there some forgiveness, something that you need to forgive yourself for?
I don't
Is there
know.
something in you holding you back from something? And I'm not, please don't think I'm trying to make this about you,
Oh
but
no, no, not at all.
when we forgive others, there's some room for forgiveness for ourselves.
Mm.
So I just want to make sure we're not overlooking you in this process.
I may need. Mm, yeah, like I need to forgive myself for some things too.
Mm-hmm.
It is really. It is the whole entire thing, and the word forgiveness, and thinking that I forgave somebody, but really you ain't, because you haven't forgot it. Because every time stuff comes up, or when my mother comes around, I start thinking, and then
About
I'm
what
hurt.
happened.
Yeah, and then I'm hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and then I'm angry. And I'm like, I thought I got over all this. I thought it was done and gone. I thought I wouldn't have issues with church. I thought all this other stuff. Like, I thought I would be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And every single time, I get angry. It's hard. Like, I want to go to church. I love to go to church.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. But every time I step inside a church, I get in there, I see a choir, I start thinking, and I'm just like, uh.
You can't do it.
It's hard for me to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, it could be a block. That could be straight up the devil
Mm-hmm.
trying to block me. But I had a horrible experience, like, just to put it out there. So, I was like, I got back into church, and I knew, I know who I am. I'm a lesbian. It is what it is. I can't change it. I try to change it, and it ain't happening. Okay, so I went to a church, and I wanted to join the choir. I feel like this is a good way for me to get in tune with God. I just wanted to join the choir, and I told the pastor, "Look, I'm gay. It's whatever, but I want to be in your choir." So the pastor got me a counselor for sexual addiction. Okay, so that's fine. So I'm talking to her about sexual addiction. I'm going to the thing, going to all the classes. I'm trying to become a member of the church. So I'm finally in the choir. This is my first Sunday in the choir. I'm on there doing praise and worship. I love to sing, especially for the Lord. I love, put me in front of the mic. It's all day, every day. I'm in front of the congregation. This ain't no small congregation. This place is a big church doing praise and worship. In the middle of praise and worship, the pastor, it was the acting pastor at the moment because the pastor was on travel. The acting pastor came into the middle of the church, pointed at me, called me down in the middle of praise and worship, right? And then just looked at me and said, "You cannot be singing because you're going to contaminate our children," and told me to sit down.
Contaminate?
Yeah, you're going to contaminate them. You're going to contaminate their spirits.
Wow.
With my gay spirit.
Wow.
And told me to sit down in the middle of praise and worship in front of the whole entire church.
Wow.
Is this a true story?
This is a God honest true story. This happened to me, Carly. It happened to me. And so to this day, I'm just like, one, I don't trust the church because of my father. My father was a preacher. Like I said, it was very green leafy. I would say that all day, every day. And then two, this whole entire situation happened to me as an adult.
And I think church hurt is the worst hurt.
Because you took away my God. I feel like you just took away my religion.
And that's supposed to be your refuge.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you embarrassed me, and then you told me that I was a spirit that would contaminate other spirits in the church. But yet you have 10,000 16-year-old pregnant girls in here. So I don't know who in your choir's doing whatever, but everybody's pregnant. But I'm going to contaminate your church.
So where was the love and compassion in that church?
There was none there, but I have not forgiven that situation.
Right.
Which I feel like I need to. I feel like there's just so many issues there, and I get pissed off every single time. And I need to forgive the experience.
Yeah.
Right, the experience, and then you have to realize the mindset of the people. But the other, and I know it's hard to see when we're in pain. It is so hard to see. But the beauty of that moment, I think God was trying to tell you, see beyond the church. See me at a greater level. Because I am greater than the church. And I'm not knocking churches. I'm not telling folks don't go. But all I'm saying is God is beyond the church. But what we have done, we have got caught up in the box. We're thinking God stops at the church. But God allowed church to exist. So we are supposed to go beyond the church. So although that was a scarring, dark moment for you, I offer and I suggest to you, go beyond the church. God is trying to take you greater than that place. So that might have been an opportunity, but your pain wasn't able to see that. But yeah, that was way bigger than that man, those people in that moment. That God was trying to reach you at a bigger and a greater level than where you were at. But that's just my vision of what I saw in the story.
Yeah, we went through a battle, me and him. We sure enough did. Because I after that, I was like, oh, really? Guess what? There ain't no God. And he was like, yes, I am.
Right.
Right.
But you still know him.
Right.
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 But it's just a healing
That was
process.
just an opportunity. Yeah, turn it around. It was an opportunity to see God in a greater light.
Right. And it just, the whole healing process, it just sucks. Like, because then I was thinking, like, where does forgiveness fit in healing? Like, where does healing start? Where does forgiveness start? Where does it end? You know, just,
In your mind, I think once you say, you know what, I'm going to forgive, and that's it. Forget about everything. Just say, I'm going to forgive, because it's an action. So I'm going to forgive, and just do it, and then the healing will come, because you've already have a made up mind saying, this is what I'm about to do. I'm no longer going to be living in this place, in this space. I'm going to move forward with forgiveness. I think one thing that may help you is that when you realize, so with my father, I realized that he didn't really stop my shine. You know, I was still able to accomplish my goals. You know, I was still able to do things. I still had a good life. You know, and then the truth is, I think I had a better life because he was an absentee father, to be perfectly honest with you. And perhaps he knew that too. I think that may be a totally different episode, but I think he realized that too, and he knew that. And so maybe he stepped away because he knew he didn't have anything to offer of value to me at that time. And that's okay, because now that I'm older, I get it now. The picture is more clear. Clarity is awesome. So it's more clear. On today, I realized, you know what, I'm good. And I blamed him for so much. And the truth is, I made it, you know, and I'm able to forgive you because you really didn't stop anything. I'm better. I'm greater. So I can forgive you easily now because I told myself a story, and that was I wasn't going to be able to accomplish this or this because you weren't there. Or my life would have been so much better if you were there. And that was my story. And then once the truth was revealed, I'm like, hey, I'm good. I can forgive you.
You know what that sounds like? Choice.
Yeah.
That's
Because
what comes to
forgiveness is a
mind. Like,
choice.
we have a choice to be happy or unhappy.
Right.
You know, our situations, our experiences, the people we encounter.
Right.
We have a choice because it goes back to how do I live my greatest life?
Right.
How did those experiences or those people serve me, and did they serve me? And if they did, you know, what was my takeaway, and where do I go from here?
Right. Because
So
it served
it's
you.
about choice. Huh?
I mean, all those experiences, they serve us now.
right.
Oh, exactly.
You know, whether like good, bad, or ugly. I mean, it served us. It made us stronger. We don't go through ends. We don't go through anything just for us anyway. Somebody is watching Carly. Somebody seeing that. Somebody is watching Carly and watch you be so resilient. You know, you overcame it. You know what I mean? Like, they seen it, they heard about it or whatever. Like, oh my God, did you hear what happened to it? Somebody watching. You know what I mean? Somebody's always watching us. And you were able to persevere. You made it through. Even the issues that you had with your parents, you made it through. Somebody would have just been like, you know what? I throw up both my hands. Because I can't do this. Just think about the people who don't make it because they felt like it was too much. So I will turn to alcohol, or now I'm a drug addict because the pain is just so strong.
Right.
But look at the success that you just come on. So think about it like that. Your parents really just made you stronger. They made you a survivor. You were able to, you know your stories. You were able to survive because somebody dropped you. And we all get dropped in life.
Right.
But somebody dropped you at some point for this day, for this time, for this hour. And it was so necessary.
I was just going to let y'all know I'll be on Edna tomorrow looking for a therapist. I cannot.
You're going to be on somebody's couch.
Right. I'm
My
like,
appointment on Friday.
I mean,
Well, you know I love therapy.
and I'm thinking, like, you know, I'm good. I don't need it. No. I need to go right back to therapy.
I love therapy. I think
I just need
therapy
to
is
find a
good
good-
if you, when you feel like you don't need it, then make an appointment.
I need to find a good therapist because you know me. I had so many weird therapists. I just had weird ones. I need to find me a good. I told you about the one therapist who said she wanted to. Najia, you will not believe the stuff that happens to me in my life. I promise you. So I went to one therapist and she was trying to recommend me to go to this lady who can cast demons out of me and put them in animals. I promise you, this is a real life story. It happened to me.
I'm glad you mentioned that because, I was going to ask, is this a real story?
No,
Go
I
ahead.
promise you. I get some weird therapists and I don't understand. I mean, I need to stop using Google and saying, no, I went through Aetna to find that one.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh.
Right. And then she used to tell me, she's like, I'm writing a book and I want to read you a passage out of my book. So it had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with her.
She didn't even help you?
No. Nah.
Well, I put you like I've gone to a couple of sessions. I'm owning my truth tonight, and I promise you, when we started the conversation, it was like, oh, you gave me all the pieces I had, but I just didn't connect them. So shoot, Carly, maybe you need to be your own therapist. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. Go ahead.
Maybe. Because it's crazy. Sometimes I feel like, because the stuff I've been through, especially with therapy, it's just weird. Like then I told you I went to the one therapist who had the,
Holistic lady?
no, this is the one that had the holy oil. Now I don't mind holy oil. I don't mind it at all. But all this let me know is you just like Cheryl. Ooh, I thought my mama. I know exactly who you are. And then when I told her about my issues with my mother, she was like, oh, I like your mother. Girl.
Aww.
I mean, I'm not here for you to say that. I mean, you can like my mama all day long, but I know where you're coming from with this.
Right.
So I get it. I understand you have your holy oil to
Maybe
cast
you
out.
just need to send a prayer out that you
I find a
Yeah,
decent one because
right. like God, don't let me pick it.
right.
You
'cause
do it.
Let me tell you, I need
Yeah.
I need
But I always
somebody
think that
couch.
it's good to lay on somebody's couch and talk away.
Yeah, because this healing process needs to get started
ASAP.
ASAP rocking. Tonight would be a good prayer between me and God
Yeah.
because I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
I need to let go. And maybe
Well,
that's
let
what's
me tell
holding
you
this
what's
weight
been
on me
saving
too.
me. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Najia.
I was going to say, do you have a war room space? Maybe not per se a room, but a war space, some space where you can go in and just be transparent, pour your heart out, let your tears shed. That's been an amazing space for me. Oh, my God. I don't know where I would be if I didn't see the movie and come home and create a war room. So,
Maybe I need to watch the movie.
Oh, you really did create one?
yes, ma'am. Every
Wow.
time
Wow.
when I put it to you like this, after I saw the movie, I came home and one of my closet spaces had clothes in there, whatever, and I just squeezed my little self in there. I said, okay, this is fine. Then the next day, I took all the clothes out the closet. I said, no, Lord, I need you to feel me. And now I'm in Orlando. I have no empty rooms, but my closet is big enough where I could find enough space to sit, and I'm in there. So it's been a healing space for me. So maybe even if you don't want to go to a therapist, find a space where you're comfortable, where you could just own your stuff, where you could be transparent, cry, say what you want to say what you need to say to God. And girl, it's been a saving grace. So I offer that to you.
Wow.
Oh, maybe that's what I need
Yeah.
because it just needs
Yeah,
to be.
because if you don't want to share your story with anyone, that's fine too. If you don't think someone is in a space to help you, the beautiful part about it, once you put it out there to the Creator, to the greatest force that exists, something's going to come back.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It never fails. Something
will never
come
go
back.
void.
Some healing, some confirmation. So I promise, I offer. If you got a little space in the room tonight, I recommend you get to it.
Huh.
Because you're near a breakthrough right now. The breakthrough has started.
It started.
You need to
Yeah,
get in
it
the
started.
space
It
where you
started.
just
It started yesterday
first.
when you're like,
Okay.
you know what? We're gonna just talk about forgiveness. We need to talk about this. It started there because the emotion was there yesterday. You just suppressed it, and then coming up here was coming. So I feel like once the tears start coming, that's breakthrough because those
So if,
tears mean that
she
something
gonna
is
be at the
moving.
desk boo-hoo crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta cry it out.
Cry it out.
And you could just go home and slide down your shower and just cry.
Sliding down the way.
What movie is that?
That's Toy's favorite thing to do. I'll go home and slide down my shower and cry.
I'm natural. I can't do that. Go ahead.
I ain't gonna say you ain't gonna have no afro now,
Right.
but it feel real
My
good.
closet space.
But yeah, I did see the movie War Room, and it was she created that, and she was really able to just really get it out there.
Yeah, I need to, because like, maybe that's one thing that's like holding all this weight on me. Like I work out, I do all this stuff. I have my cheat days. I mean, there ain't a lot of cheat days, but if you hold on to things, maybe you'll hold on to other things on you too. It can cause health issues, of course.
And I thoroughly believe that. I believe that we don't just have health issues just because it is derived from some place. We holding on to. I think unforgiveness is something that really creates a lot of issues for us. If we think about it, I know people like try to find some medical explanation. What I'm trying to say?
Don't even get me to try to pronounce a word.
That's why you can't. And it's hot up in here too.
Are you warm? Me too.
I'm so hot.
I just had a straight hot flash.
Anyways, sometimes it's deeper than that. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's because we are just going through, and we haven't decided that we're going to let go of whatever happened, and we have resentment and bitterness and anger, and all these things just create a bigger issue for us, health issues for us. And so once we make up our mind, like, you know what, I no longer want to live with this, I think those things just begin to fall off.
Yeah, because I really want to do that, because I remember when Raven Simone lost all that weight, and the first thing she said was, "I'm not stressing no more."
Right.
So I was like, I need to get rid of the stress.
Right.
I mean, in reality, I never got rid of any stress because it's still right there.
But I think I told you this story. So, Najee, so I used to work for a nonprofit organization, and we used to get volunteers to help us do our like mailings and things like that. So the group used to be a group of people who had that were mentally challenged. And one day the conversation came up about age, and they were like, "Well, guess how old I am?" And I'm trying to guess, and I'm like, I don't know, 25, maybe 20, and they were like 45, 50, and they looked 20 to 30 years younger than what they were. So I asked the coordinator, I'm like, are they telling the truth? And she was like, yeah, she was like, it's amazing. She said, but they don't have any stress. The biggest stress is that when they open up their lunchbox, are they going to have pudding or they got, oh, for real, or they're going to have an orange? That's the highlight. You know what I mean? So they don't really have stress like we do. We have so much stuff on us. We have so much baggage. You know what I'm saying? We have, we got to pay rent, mortgage, car note. We have bills. You know what I mean? Shout out to the student loans that don't give up. You know what I mean? So we have all these things that weigh us down. They're not thinking about that. And because they're not thinking about those things, they don't have those things, they don't look like that. They look different.
Right.
They look 20 to 30 years younger because they're not stressing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's real talk.
Yeah.
I thoroughly believe in that, because I saw a play. It was a long time ago, and it was about two sisters. One sister died like in her 80s, I think, or 90s, and the other sister lived to be 106. And they were just like, well, how did you, why do you think you lived so long? She was like, I ain't had no man, I'm a virgin. But just like that, because she was like, I didn't have any stress. I didn't have I didn't have the stresses that my sister had.
Because think about it. We always say stress kills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the truth. They don't say that just because.
Yeah. It'll kill you. And then this life is just, you just have to let go of some things and just really just try to live this best life without having all that stuff, like all that baggage on us, and just trying to carry it and try to figure it out. Like Najee said, just, what it is, just do what you have to do.
Give it up, turn it loose.
Give it up, turn it loose. And forget about that song, I'm willing to forgive you, but I can't forget. That's a dumb song.
Who sings that song? Please say it.
Najee, who sings it?
I don't know. No, ma'am. That song is not on my list, on my iPod or pad.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
it's dumb. I'm willing to forgive you, but, so really you're not. and she didn't forget. So she's still mad. She was mad when she wrote the song, and she was mad when she was singing it.
Well, I don't want to be mad no more. No more.
You don't want to, and you don't want to be stuck. So
I don't
come
want
on
to be
out of there.
stuck. No, and I want the stress to go away. Yeah, I need it all to be gone. In Jesus' name, amen. It got to go. I'm sorry. It got to go. It has to be gone. Sorry.
This
Goodbye.
was like your
It's three
therapy
of us on
session.
the line. We're in agreement. It's done.
Right.
Where two or more touch and agree.
Right.
It's done.
Right. Goodbye.
But this
Get in
is
the
good.
face
This is
to
your
receive
first
it.
therapy session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
So our fee, Matoya, how much you charge?
Well, you
No,
know.
I'm not gonna charge because I needed all this myself. So never mind.
And that's what I had told her. I said, when you tell your story and when you're transparent like this, it's really not just a healing for you. Other people will get it too. Because we're all trying to figure out life and we all have issues going on. Some of us just are not prepared and willing to share. But the fact that you are so transparent, I just feel like you're going to be blessed anyways because you are able to expose your true self. You know what I mean? And your truth. So I already know it's about to really happen for you in regards to this breakthrough. And I just feel like good things about to happen because of this.
Yeah, well, I got
Thank God for this podcast.
I know. But, I got to work on. I got to be transparent. I don't mind being transparent, but, it pisses my mama off. So I gotta
But you know
figure out
what? You know
equal
how
media.
people say the truth hurts? And sometimes you just live in a lie. Enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like she can live that. Shout out to Mama Cheryl. She can live that. But Carly has to do what Carly needs to do for Carly. And if that means that you have to expose what it is and tell your truth, that's what it is. Because it's about you. This healing is about you. Carly has to live her life for her. We can't live for Mama. And I think sometimes we get caught up in that with our parents, trying to live for them and appease them. No,
I don't think that's
no,
for
ma'am.
everything in my life. I don't live my life for me. I live my life for other people.
Oh, no.
Which I got to just kind of just be like, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then that's not living the best life.
Right.
Because you're cheating yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the other piece to that is if you're living for everyone else or living everyone else's life, when are you going to start living yours? Because guess what? What God has for you is for you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get in the way or allow others to get in the way of that, when will it happen? How will it happen? So I just like it, put all that stuff, fight through it. Whatever you have to do, as I like to say, to save your life, because that's what this is about. How do you save your life?
Yeah.
How do you live your best and greatest life?
Right.
So move that stuff out the way so you could get to it, because based on this conversation tonight, you are right there. You probably are there, but there's some distractions. There's some things in the way. So move those things out the way so you could get in it, get to it.
Because don't come this close without getting it.
Right.
Oh my God, please.
It would be crazy. Don't come this close without truly getting, like she said, what God has for you. Because it's there for the taking.
I got to do it.
Yeah.
It's in my heart to do it. Like, it's literally in my heart to do it.
But it's one of those things where we say, I need to do it. I need to do it. Just do it. Yeah. Just do it. Like the whole forgiveness thing. Don't ponder. Just
do it.
I forgive you. I forgive you. Just because all that back and forth. No, I was just saying all that back and forth that you're trying to figure it out. Like, shit, I don't know. You don't need that. Because you'll talk yourself out of it.
You're right.
And see, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
What I'm learning, and this has been a fabulous life, and I'm so grateful for it. People and experiences. The question that I'm learning to ask myself over and over again when they show up and it seems kind of challenging and hard and I have to make a choice or I have to have courage to do something or I have to be obedient to what the Creator wants me to do, the question is, how is this serving me? How are these people, how is this experience serving me? If it's not serving me to get to my greatest and my best life, then maybe I need to make a decision. There's a choice I have to make. There's an opportunity for my courage to step up. There's an opportunity for me to be obedient. But how is this serving me? That's what I always ask. And if it's not serving me and it's not serving me for my best life, then I need to set it free. But I have to, bottom line is, do I want my best life? Or the best life that's there for me. And if I do, then it requires me to make some moves. It requires me to make some decisions. And so think about that. Those painful, dark things that keep coming up, and possibly you're giving it energy. Ask yourself, how's it serving you?
That is the best question ever, I promise. I love to ask that. I love it. How does this serve me?
Well,
Sometimes it's hurtful, the answer. But you know what I mean? Because sometimes the answer is, it serves me not. You know what I mean? But I'm definitely with Najee with the serving thing, you know. And it's a certain somebody that's going to listen to this going to be like, oh my gosh. Shout out to Clever.
Right. This is a healing session, so either you're going to get healed, helped, or moved. I don't know.
Right. Well, that's going to be my number one question.
Right.
How does it serve me?
Right. And if you ask yourself that in so many different, in every situation, you would be like, oh my gosh. Because we make a lot of hasty decisions. You know what I mean? We don't think a lot of things through. And we have a lot of people in our lives who serve us not. They need not to be here. That was what, episode 2, 3, 4. They don't even serve us. You know,
Right.
we are doing things in our life that does not serve us, but we do it. And you know, the older we get, the more mature we become. Yeah. Some of those things we got to break away.
It doesn't make the people bad.
Right.
Let's be clear. It doesn't make the people
Right.
bad who are not serving us, but bottom line is you are not serving me.
Right. So you got to go. Like, yeah, no, you got to leave. Yeah. Get out.
You know, family is a little, not too different, but it's a little different because that connection, that bond, it will always be there. But, you know, sometimes you got to love and pray for folks from a distance, and I'm not telling anyone to shut their family out by no means. But all I'm saying is, are you hindering me from getting to my greatest life? I might need to revisit our relationship. I'm going to still love you, still going to be my brother, my cousin, but in this moment, you're not serving me for where I'm trying to get to and what I'm trying to do.
Right.
I'll text you when I can.
Right.
Right.
When I can.
Yeah. If I have minutes available.
Right. No minutes on my cell, I can't do it.
It ain't after 9 yet. It ain't.
I'll call you at 9:02.
I'm not on Facebook, so yeah, I'll get to you when I can. Whenever. Yeah.
And I think that's important too, understanding that just because we family doesn't mean that I have to hold on to you like that. You know what I mean? It's a season too. I still love you. I do have to love you from afar right now because I'm on a mission. Even with our experience with you know, the podcast, our family and our friends, if we need a supporting cast, period.
Right.
If you're not on our team supporting, I still love you. However, I'm moving.
Right.
You know what I mean? I see something great. You know, Carly and I really do believe in what we have going on, and we see something great. So we thank everybody who's supporting us. However, those that's not, and with the negative energy, you gotta go.
And maybe this is the segment that I can say I was going to cuss out everybody who I know have not listened, because I know they're not going to hear this.
Help us, Lord.
But I'm going to let y'all know, Heifers, I know you ain't listening. Heifers. I see you, I know.
But guess what? They're not going to stop the blessing.
No,
They're not, because the right person is going to listen. That's how I feel about it. Like, you know, the people who said they would support us and they're not, that's fine. The right person will hear this episode.
Right, because you know what?
And it is what it is.
We get so much stuff from people we don't even know.
Right.
Which is so crazy. I'm just like, wait, who are you?
Hashtag podcast life.
Okay.
But you got a fan base?
Yes.
Look at God.
I'm excited.
I know. And, you know, shoot, I'm just like, hey, y'all. And you know what? You follow us, we follow you back.
Absolutely.
It just is what it is. I'm just like, I'll follow. Let me like a couple of your things. So, you know, it is what it
I'm
is.
excited.
Yes.
Oh, that did something for me.
Yeah.
Hey, we get love. Like, it's crazy. I love it, though.
Wow.
So I'm thankful for everybody who support us. Special thanks to my supporting cast, my two best friends, Clever and Dre Day. I love y'all.
Oh.
So I thank you guys for always encouraging me and just inspiring Carly and I to just to keep on moving forward, because we got a good thing going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Najee, and we thank you
so
too for
Yes.
being a part of this.
Yes, we thank you so very much. We appreciate all your input. Thank you for your insight on this. Like, I've been having some issues, but I feel, I will honestly say I feel a little lighter today. So
Praise
I feel a
God.
little
God
lighter.
said, I'm going to make my presence known tonight. And I am so grateful that, yes.
Cue the praise and worship music.
Right.
So we
But I
always
thank you
end
all.
with an affirmation. But Najee, do you have any words that you wanted to say?
All I can say is live your greatest life, and if it's whatever it or someone isn't doing to serve you in that process, set it free, set them free. And I'll leave you with that.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Preach, preacher.
Right.
Let the church say amen.
Amen.
We don't have church in here today. We never have it again. So the affirmation is, I am moving into a place of forgiveness.
Hallelujah.
So you could just go ahead and just write that on your wall.
I am.
In the
I
mirror,
am moving
all
in
that
the
kind of
place of forgiveness.
Amen.
I'll take it. Thank you, Najia. We love you so very much. Thank you.
Same
you.
here.
We
Thank
so
you,
love
ladies.
you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Well, you know what? If you want to get in contact with us, share any topics, get some advice, you can reach us at YouTube, with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at
LBClear.
LBClear podcast. Anything. Our Gmail is lbclearpodcast@gmail.com, and everything else is at LBClear podcast.
Send us some feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send
Or
us
some
love.
questions or anything that
know.
you want us to talk about.
Yeah, just show us some love. We take that too. So we appreciate you all. We'll see you next week.
All right.
Thank you.